G'day everyone, Ian Fegan here, also known as Professor Shoelace. Today I'm going to compare the two most common shoelace tying techniques. There's the one loop bunny rabbit knot or the two loop bunny ears knot. Now I often see these come up in discussion forums, in particular the fact that people get teased for using the kiddies version and never having learned the adult version. So what are these kiddies, adult, one loop, two loop, bunny rabbit and bunny ears knots? Well, I'll set the record straight, they're all the same knot, just a slightly different tying technique. Let me show you this on a couple of sneakers, and I'll begin with tying a left over right starting knot. Then we create a tree, one loop. The bunny rabbit runs around the tree, sees you at the front, ducks into the hole and disappears out the back. That's the one loop technique. The other one, again we tie a left over right starting knot, create two loops and cross them and simply tie a knot with them. Now the first thing you'll notice is that the two knots look identical, because they are. What's happened with the two loop technique is that you've crossed them, and this part here which gets fed through the hole is simply the pre-formed loop that you would otherwise get if you just fed the whole end around and then push that bit through the hole. So it's the identical knot. Don't let anyone tell you that that's an inferior knot. The only time that it is inferior is if you tie a left over right starting knot and then also tie the loops left over right. What you'll finish with is a knot that sits along the shoe instead of across the shoe, and this unbalanced knot, which is called a granny knot, will come undone a lot more easily. So provided the two loop knot is tied correctly with the starting knot and the finishing knot tied in opposite directions, you'll have a perfectly good finished knot. Or you can go one stage further and learn the Ian knot, the world's fastest shoelace knot, but that's a whole other story. If you want any more information about these knots, granny knot, or about a dozen other knots, you can go to Ian's Shoelace site.